Yo, yo, yo. What up, peoples? It's Friday, baby. You made it. You made it. It's Friday. What most of us are working for all week long. Friday's here. I know it's not quite over for everybody yet. Some of us are working towards the end of it or have already gotten through it, but if you're not there yet, you just keep on going, baby. And the weekend's upon us, so I hope everybody's doing well. Man, it's the 1st of September. Holy crap. That means we're a month away from Scaretober, guys. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. I like Scaretober, man. It's always a fun thing to look forward to every year for me, for the stream. Well, it has been the first 2 years, and I've been looking forward to it this year, too. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get down on some horror vibes for this coming month. Yo, Davey, what up, man? Thanks, broski. What's up, brother? So I mean, I'm not trying to rush through September or anything, but it is getting close, and I can't help but feel a little bit excited about that. Getting to spend an entire month doing like scary games and stuff is always a fun time. So, we get to put all the scare alerts in there and fun things like that. So, that'll be coming. That'll be coming at the end of the month. I don't know. We got it's gonna be a bit of what I would consider a shorter stream today. So, I've been trying to announce this to everybody, but this is no live content for the next 3 days. So I'm taking a bit of a holiday to spend with family for the next 3 days. And so no Saturday, Sunday, or Monday live streams. And so today, later on today, we're going to be kicking off that kind of holiday, but I wanted to get a stream in today. So while it won't be a full day, a full 8 to 9 hour day, I will get probably a roughly 6-ish hours in, probably somewhere around there. So it'll be shorter than normal, so be prepared for that. I'll probably end somewhere around lunchtime. But just so everybody's aware, I've been trying to announce that and let everybody know. It never feels great for me to take time away from the stream. I love what I do. I love being here with you guys, spending time with you. This is my jam, dude. This is my comfort zone. This is what I love to do. And so, taking time away is always a bit awkward for me, but it is a good thing for me to maybe take a little bit of time here and there. And especially right now, it's going to be spending time with family, which is important to me. And maybe a little bit of time to just reset and refresh will be nice. I'll probably come back about 20 pounds heavier, and so I might look a little bit different, maybe a lot closer to thumb face than I even am now. We're not that far away, but but I might come back looking quite a bit closer than we are now. On that note, man, we got video gaming news for today, September 1st, which we will dive into in a moment, and then we'll play a little bit more Fallout New Vegas for the rest of the day before I have to call it, and we won't be back until Tuesday. Okay. On that note, let's go ahead and dive in here and let's do what we do. Let's get into this new stuff. All right. Davey, what's up? Taking a break from Divinity. Oh, cool, dude. Yeah, BioShock's a banger trilogy, dude. I was more of a fan of the first two. The third one was fine. It just didn't stand up to the first two in my opinion. But there are other people out there that really liked the third one as well. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think, man. I loved those games, dude. Those games are great. They're great. And they really have stood up the test of time, in my opinion. I mean, there will be things you'll see that, obviously, especially if you've already started playing them, there will be things that feel a little dated in them. But for how old they are, man, they've held up really, really well, in my opinion. I say that a lot about those games. Let's get in here. Let's do this. I can completely understand that the need for a break and a long playthrough. You know, I'll do the same thing sometimes, especially like really long ones. Like whenever I played the Pillars games, both those playthroughs were over 300 hours long for me, and I needed a bit of a change about halfway through. It starts feeling stagnant. As much as I loved Pillars, as much as I loved those games, about 150 to 175 hours into a game, if I know I'm not close to beating it, I need something to slot in there to feel a little bit different, get me refreshed, if you will, for getting back into that playthrough and push through the rest of it. You know, that's the way I feel about stuff. Oh, well, that's news. Oh, you got her out of the ice block. Nice. Yeah, I got you. Right on. So, Saints Row developers done. Volition is shut down. So we'll talk about that. Let me turn this music down just a little bit, but we'll keep rocking out for while we look at articles and stuff. You know, we'll keep jamming. While we look at articles. But the Game Informer, Saints Row developer Volition Games has been shut down. Interesting. You know, I honestly think had they gone for Saints Row and not tried to reboot it, had they just tried to modernize the traditional Saints Row games they had always done, they probably would have done better with it. There were a lot of traditional Saints Row fans that were really turned off by what they did with the new game. Would that have saved the company? I don't know. I think it would have been better for them, though, overall. It had probably been a more lucrative title for them. Whether or not it would have helped them stay afloat, I have no idea. But we'll read this. We'll see what's up. So Volition's shutting down. We just read where another studio shut down. What was the name of the studio behind... Bum, 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 bum. Oh, we need to look at Starfield today, too. Shadow Tactics. Which actually their new game is Shadow Gambit. Which is doing incredibly well, actually, review-wise. And Me Games. Yeah, Me Games. They, just after releasing Shadow Gambit, which has done very well. I don't know how much retail it has sold, but review-wise, it's doing great. And 85 on Metacritic, dude. It's getting rave reviews. And I don't know how many copies it's sold right now, but across the board, people are loving this game. And just after release, which was August 17th, a couple of days ago, not even 2 weeks after the release of this game, they announced they're shutting down. Which is kind of wild. And now we've got Saints Row. Studio Volition shutting down as well. This is the nature of things, though. This is the way it goes sometimes. Let's take a look at. Let me get this up. So Starfield has 50 critic reviews right now at an 88. That's about what I expected out of this game, to be honest. What are they saying about Xbox Series X? 87. Okay. Now, This is something we're going to have to take a look at. I'm not going to pull it up on Steam yet, but we will whenever we look in depth at the Metacritic score stuff, okay? Obviously, we won't get user reviews on Metacritic until the game full releases, which is 4.5 days from now, roughly. A little over that, but, you know, we'll hit on that. September's free games with Prime Gaming have been announced, so we'll take a peek at this. Yeah, there are a couple of games, few games, there are a number of games coming out this month that are hype for me. Big hype is Payday 3. Payday 3 comes out towards the end of the month. I'm really excited about that. I'll be playing that on release more than likely. Probably as a weekend title. Out the gate, I might do like just a full week of it and then turn it into some weekend stuff or something. But Scaretober comes, so I might play it hard towards the end of September. That way I don't need to focus on it through Scaretober because we'll have a lot of other games. I probably won't play much Payday 3 in Scaretober because probably just won't have time for it. But Liza P drops, which I've been following for a long time, and the premise of that game seems really, really cool. Whether or not the developer will be able to develop around that premise something that feels really nice and is worth our money is something to be seen, I think, you know. And so I don't know that I'll play it on release. I'll probably sit back and see what ratings are saying about the game first, but I don't know. We'll see what's going on around that time. The thing is, we have our buddy Tinwin. Yeah. I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit, Davey. I've already got it up. I don't really know what that game is, but I did see that was the next game, and I do have the Epic up, so I was going to talk about that here in a little bit. But I'm not sure whether we'll try to take a look at it and see exactly what the game is, because I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that title. So we're fortunate enough we got a community member in Tinwin that has some early access to Endless Dungeon. And with that early access, they are getting some buddy keys, if you will. What up, Tinwin? What's up, buddy? So what's probably going to happen in the beginning of September here is that we're going to play a little bit of some Endless Dungeon with our buddy Tinwin. Yeah, speak of the devil. He's just hiding in the corner. Like, waiting. Yeah, dude, what's up? So we're probably going to get to try our hand at a little bit of some Endless Dungeon whenever I get back from my holiday. And that'll be a cool little thing to try out, too. Tinwin's already got a good amount of experience in the game, so hopefully I'll be able to pick it up pretty quick and won't be dragging Tinwin down too much. But it'll be cool to experience it nonetheless. And I'm really excited about that. So thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. We'll talk more whenever I get back, dude, and we'll get that all figured out and set up and everything. But it can't really be worse. We'll see about that, buddy. No, I'm kidding. Tiring to play with AI. Yeah, that's the way it's kind of sounded whenever you've been talking about it. So I'm excited to get in there and try it out. It sounds very cool, and I'm excited about giving it a shot, man, and seeing what it's all about, dude. So I really appreciate it. And as soon as I get back, dude, we'll have some discussions probably through Discord and stuff, and we'll figure it all out and get it all set up, figure out a schedule and stuff. Cool. But I'm pretty excited about that. So those are some of the things coming up in September that I'm looking towards and looking for. And we'll see how it all kind of rolls out for us. I'll try to get our schedule updated as well, okay? Happy Friday, by the way, buddy. Hope you're doing well, Tinwin. Yeah, bud. Cool. All right, let's see what else we got here. Okay, this is actually coming out of Lenovo. But we have only received, I mean, we've seen what the Lenovo Legion Go looks like, which gave us a kind of an idea. It's going to be a chunkier kind of handheld, it looks like. Probably better battery life and stuff. We've seen a few statistics now on the hardware of it, but we haven't seen anything about price range. I'm guessing it's going to be closer to something like the, Asus ROG Ally. Just off of what I saw hardware-wise, what's going to be in it, I'm expecting it to be closer price range to the ROG Ally than something like the Steam Deck, right? So the other big thing I think that we have to take into consideration here is the ROG Ally and the Steam Deck are both very, very consumer-friendly products. Easy parts to replace, easy devices for consumers to work on themselves. You're not going to void the warranty by opening them up, you know, things of that nature. And I think if Lenovo wants to compete on the same level, they're going to have to develop something that is of the same caliber in that respect, it being something that's consumer friendly along the same lines on a lot of those different aspects, you know. We'll pull this up real quick. This is out of Lenovo Story Hub though, so this is going to be kind of promotional, I'm afraid, but we'll see if we get any new info out of it anyways. Okay, PC officially revealed. Let's go with Games Hub instead of the Lenovo one. Okay, let's go with Games Hub here. We'll look at that one. Yeah, Tim. Yeah, so I've already actually got the Metacritic up for it. We're going to talk about it today. Honestly, it's kind of what I expected. This score right here, I figured mid 80s to high 80s on this game is what I was expecting, which is really, really respectable. And if you didn't see this, dude, Volition is shutting down. And I mean, Saints Row developer, Volition, done. We're going to touch on that too. But yeah, since you brought that up, yeah. We'll talk about it. So the Starfield thing is, I mean, that game is really kind of slotting in there right around where I expected it to be. I didn't expect it to be hitting the same levels of something like Tears of the Kingdom or Baldur's Gate 3. I just didn't. I never did. But I did expect it to be very good. And review-wise, not talking about personal experience or anything like that, but review-wise, across the board, where I was kind of expecting it to be is where it's at. And just because whenever I say that it's not hitting Baldur's Gate 3 Tears of the Kingdom status, where it's at is nothing to scoff at. Don't get me wrong. That Tears of the Kingdom Baldur's Gate 3 status is insanely hard to hit. And don't get me wrong, you know, a development company like Bethesda could do it. And who knows, their next game quite possibly could do that with Elder Scrolls 6. I didn't see Starfield being that game though, you know. Yeah. I mean, we already knew coming out of like old Hod Toward's mouth that, yes, I did that on purpose. But you know, he had told us that only roughly 10% of the planets were gonna, you know, inhabit life and things like that. And it doesn't mean they're not explorable, but they're not necessarily. They didn't seem like, you know, a lot of the planets didn't necessarily come off like they were going to be content heavy. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things I was a little bit worried about. And I think that it's a hard thing to balance for a lot of, especially when you're talking about a space game, because they always had promoted that game of being trying to really stay as close as possible to realistic kind of space exploration, right? A realistic kind of experience for a space game. Now, does that mean that it's everything about it's going to be, you know, a work of like nonfiction and based on facts and stuff. No, absolutely not. But they wanted to stick pretty close to that. And you know, whenever they talked about 10% of the planets being inhabited by life, I think you have to expect that there's going to be some dull side of things. You know, that means that 9 times out of 10, whenever you visit a planet, 90% of the time you visit a planet, it's going to be kind of bleak, probably. You know, doesn't mean there might not be some things that have been set up there. There might be like, I think, some outposts or something on those planets, things like that. But it's much different than going to a planet and have it be inhabited by life, right? So, I don't know. I was kind of worried about that. But at the same time, that's not what people are looking for out of a space exploration game either, dude. And you know that, right? I mean, people in an space exploration game, they want that feel of going out and finding new planets, and even if they quite often are barren, you know. So I don't know. Everybody's going to be a bit different on that, you know. Well, I'm not saying that it couldn't work necessarily. I mean, there have been a lot of other games that have done it that way, but for what Starfield's aim was, that's not what they were trying to get done. Other games have done it that way. You know what I mean? But that was not their aim, dude. You know, that's not what they were after in the first place. And so, you know, you got to respect their vision and style of what they were going for in this game. So, and it just because it is this way now, if they get enough feedback about maybe it feeling a bit too bleak, you know, it doesn't mean they can't change it a little bit or whatever too. I wasn't saying that it couldn't work. I'm just saying that's not what they were trying. That wasn't their vision for what this game was supposed to be, ever. You know. So I don't know. It's apparently a very good game. We'll take a deeper look at it here in a moment and look at Steam reviews along with Metacritic. Metacritic won't have user reviews till the game full drops. I don't even know if Steam will have reviews yet until full drop. Will Steam even have reviews till full drop? Probably not, huh? Probably not. I wasn't thinking about that. No, yeah, it won't have reviews until the 5th. Yep. Okay, so we won't be able to see anything there, but we'll at least get a taste of what's going on here with Metacritic, which we've already seen across both console and PC is up in the high 80s, you know, and that's about what I expected. But we'll take a deeper look at it as we get into the articles. This flipping gaming Bible dude can get wrecked. Their site is so clickbaity, dude. Yeah. Got both these up. Actually, let's pull that up and put it with the Metacritic scores real quick. We'll take a quick peek at that. Sony stock rose? It went up after the PS Plus subscription gaming price hike? Are you serious? If you didn't know, basically as of like a day and a half ago, Sony PlayStation announced that they're raising the price of their subscription service by like 30% across the board, all tiers, 25 to 30%. I don't see it. I talked about it in yesterday's news segment. TLDR, here's the thing. PlayStation Plus has not been the same scope of a subscription service of something like Game Pass, except for roughly the past year. Game Pass has been around since what, 2017, 2018? And they just rose their prices for the first time. So they tried previously and they got so much bad feedback on it and criticism for it that they pulled back and they didn't do it. Now, right now, Xbox Game Pass finally took their prices up for the first time. So the first time in roughly 5 to 6 years, I think, since Game Pass was really released, have they raised their prices. And PS Plus, being out just over a year, has decided that they get to do the same thing. Now, here's the difference. The big difference, and I've said this the whole time, between these subscription services is that what sets them apart greatly is that Game Pass, and let me finish this entire spiel here, but Game Pass gives you day one first-party Xbox releases on their subscription service. PlayStation has been quoted as saying, "We will never do that." So you have to wait an extended period of time before you'll ever see proprietary first-party PlayStation games ever hit their subscription service. So one of the big differences that sets these two subscription services apart is that fact. Now, to be fair, Xbox has not had a whole lot over the past year and a half until right now that is a first-party game to really draw people in, to make that perk, the first-party release kind of stuff, really shine for their subscription service, if you will. They had Hi-Fi Rush earlier in the year. They haven't had a lot outside of that. Hi-Fi Rush. There might be a couple of other notables, but not a whole lot. Now they got Starfield. Redfall was supposed to be a big one. That was a huge dud. Redfall was just a complete loss for them. It did not do well. It was not a good game. That was bad. So, to be fair, have they had a great amount of first-party games, which is supposed to be one of the key draws to their subscription service over the past year and a half? Not really. But it is still something that makes their subscription service stand out over Sony's. And so those two things right there, Sony, PlayStation, looking at their subscription service and the fact that their subscription service in it stacking up in the same capacity of what Game Pass does, they've only had this new subscription service for a year, and they're like, oh yeah, we get to go ahead and raise prices now, when, yeah, I mean, you've only had it out for a year, as well as the fact that you don't even give this your consumers the same perk of day one releases. You know, man, that feels really, really bad, in my opinion. But this is the thing for Sony and PlayStation. They know that they have an entire segment of people that only play their console. And those are the people that they're really targeting with this, right? People that won't be looking at any other subscription service really or anything like that. They're gonna be pulling off these people hard. And Sony has a huge, massive marketing and sales division that crunches numbers on this type of stuff all the time. If they hadn't run the numbers and come to the conclusion that people wouldn't buy in at this new price point, they wouldn't have done it. That doesn't make it feel any better to me, but that's the truth of it. So, in my opinion, should they be raising prices right now? No, it's not justified. They don't have any reason to. But from their point of view as a business that honestly doesn't care a whole lot about their consumer or anything, they just are all about money, they're going to do that because they know people will pay it. So that's how that's gone down. I can't believe their stock has gone up. There's a ton of people that are pissed off about it, about the increase in the subscription service price. Funny enough, talking about Volition shutting down, Saints Row Reboot is September's big highlight game for PS Plus as well. About each month they come out with like 3 headliner games they release for the service. I don't know what made them think Saints Row Reboot was like one that should be at the top of their list. That game did not do very well. Most people didn't enjoy it very much. It also had performance issues and stuff. Maybe that stuff's patched out at this point, but it wasn't an overall great experience review-wise for people. I didn't play it, so I can't tell you from experience, but it was one that I think baseline reviews was kind of something that scared a lot of people away. It was something that didn't look great for most people to engage in being a part of that game, and it's probably one of the reasons Volition is not doing well and has decided to shut down. But to see PS Plus put it as a headliner, it's like, okay, weird play. And here's the we covered this yesterday. Much pricier from September. Yep. Everybody's reporting on the Legion Go. You know, this is one of the things that I'm excited about. Let me just, I'll talk about this more actually when we get into looking at the Legion Go. But I think one of the things that's been a big turnoff for people getting into PC gaming for a long time is it's kind of it's been a daunting thing for people that aren't real tech savvy. The thing that's been a draw for people that want to game but don't want to be on the PC side of things, that aren't tech savvy, is the fact that consoles traditionally tend to be very straightforward and easy. And I think that what is coming to play in the PC realm of things now, with all these handhelds and things that are coming about in the Legion Go, is something very, very much on the same scope of like the Switch. Detachable controllers, things of that nature. These things can be docked. They've really emulated what the Switch has done very well. I'm hopeful it gets more people into PC gaming because they don't have to worry as much about the overall tech side of things. Are there still going to be some things they need to understand and probably be proficient in and learn about PC gaming? Absolutely. But in my opinion, PC gaming is far and away the better place for gamers to be nowadays. The console side of things is just so scummy. And I'm really hopeful that, with the prominence of these dedicated PC gaming devices that aren't just also big rigs, you know what I mean? Like legitimate PCs and everything. It'll be a segue for people getting into and feeling more comfortable with PC gaming and with PC technology. PlayStation games discounted on PC. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we talked about this already. I was wondering who Volition was under. I didn't remember they were under Embracer. So Embracer has decided to shut down Volition. And we're going to talk about that. Ooh, Embracer. Boy, they are a juggernaut, aren't they? And what does Embracer do? Embracer is a company that does not care all that much, really. It doesn't seem like about the development side of things. They're more interested in like just portfolio. They're interested in owning IPs, you know. And what they'll do is they'll hold on to all this Volition portfolio until they find somebody that's interested in taking it off their hands, and then they'll sell it at an increased, you know, markup. That's what Embracer does. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is now available for preload on PS5, which is good. People getting being able to go ahead and start preloading. It's a big game. Not everybody has like super fast internet, so being able to go ahead and start preloading Baldur's Gate 3 is a good thing for people. You couldn't do that on PC. Couldn't preload on PC. So Larian getting that possible for PlayStation is a good thing. Bro, the Legion Go stuff is going nuts. Looks like PlayStation Portal, which is a controller with a screen on it that costs you $200, is going to launch in November on November 15th, guys. So, if you're interested, I feel like it's just kind of a real scummy kind of device myself. But to each their own. If this is something you're interested in, I mean, I personally would like to see PlayStation be more focused on giving their consumers a really fleshed out, intuitive, seamless, remote play, overall remote play kind of accessibility application with their PS5 first. Because from what I understand, their remote play for the PS5 is not very good. It takes a lot of fine tuning on the user side to get it to work very well. And that sucks, dude. That's not the way that should work. But instead, PlayStation's like, oh, well, let's just make it to where, like, if anybody wants to use remote play, they need to buy a device, and that'll make it work right for them. But they need to use this device, and they need to pay $200 for it. It just feels bad, dude. $700 price point. Interesting. Okay. So they hit a price point in between the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. We'll see that. Okay, let's look at our other search real quick. Gaming in the woods, a unique and thrilling experience. Let's see what this is. That sounds really familiar. Let's just look at this. 10 video games releasing in September you shouldn't miss. That way everybody is aware of some of the top games releasing. Got that up. The Super Mario Brothers Wonder Director says it's harder to surprise players today. We watched this Nintendo Direct yesterday, and this game looked wild. I mean, to be fair, I mean, it looked like a 2D Mario game. I mean, there obviously were some new kind of mechanics in it. So it looked like there's like some like almost, there are like upgrades in the game for the characters and stuff, which is what it looked like, which is kind of interesting. There are definitely some new power-ups and stuff, like turning into an elephant. The game looks wild. There's multiplayer in it and stuff. So, you know, Nintendo is traditionally very, very good at making Mario Brothers games, and this is one of their big, high-profile, you know, if not the biggest thing for them, as Mario is the icon of Nintendo. So they work very hard and extensively on making sure these games are pretty solid. And I mean, I would say one of the reasons it's harder to surprise players today is because there's so much data mining and info theft out there on what developers are doing. It's one of the reasons it's hard to surprise anybody anymore. But on the other side of that is, I think the bigger developers lose the creative side of things. Indie developers surprise me on the constant. Bigger developers don't surprise me near as much anymore. And I think it's because there's something about the creative aspect of what they do that gets lost the bigger they get. And so, I mean, I think the surprise kind of gets watered down whenever it comes to that aspect as well. Indie devs are constantly surprising us in the industry with these really inventive, unique visions and of what they're bringing to the table as far as the gameplay and the worlds that they are creating and things. And you know, I think quite often with the bigger developers, not that it doesn't happen. I mean, we AAA developers do it occasionally too, but I don't think it's nearly as prominent as we see from like the indie side of things, to be fair. We watched the Super Mario Brothers Wonder showcase yesterday. So I'm not going to dive into all this stuff that they're talking about with it. We saw it. That's not a surprise either. We knew there were going to be a ton of people playing Starfield, man, off the bat. I talk about this a lot. I've talked about it with Starfield coming out too. The evolution of long games. Are people still interested in massive experiences? Yeah, to an extent. It depends on what kind of gamer you are. It depends on what kind of the genre it is. It depends on how well developed the game is. It depends on how much time you have to spend playing a game as well. I think that Bethesda's always done a pretty solid job of giving players the opportunity to. This is where I think that, you know, more developers need to learn to do this kind of thing. give people the opportunity, players, consumers, the opportunity to finish a game in an appropriate amount of time, 30 to 40 hours. You know, you want your money's worth. You definitely want your money's worth. So you don't want it to feel short. Yeah, but here's the thing: the main game, developing a game, and this is where I feel like, you know, if I'm going to pay a AAA price point, I think that a game like what I would probably get out of something like Starfield is very appropriate. You get 35, 40 hours out of main game. That way, people that don't necessarily care to dive into the extra part of the game can just finish the game in 35 to 40 hours and feel satisfied with that. People like myself who enjoy a more comprehensive, all-encompassing experience of what the game has to offer, you know, a completionist experience, I guess you would say. We can take the time to dive into all the extras the game has and really soak it all in. So while we'll slowly get the main game taken care of, that 35 to 40 hours, we'll also probably dive into at least another 100 hours worth of the side content the game has to offer. I think that's the best way you can develop a game. Give the option of extra things for the player to do. If they don't want to do them, they don't have to. That's fine. But put the main quest line, the main part of the game in there to where people can get their money's worth out, but also finish it in a respectable amount of time where it's not going to take forever. And for everybody that likes to play games in a way where, you know, you can really get a great, nice, you know, experience out of it, then, you know, they have that option as well. I think Bethesda's always done a really good job in developing their games that way. Apparently that's the way Starfield is as well, which I would expect from Bethesda. So, you know, as opposed to a lot of these games that come out nowadays that it's like, you know, you want we're talking about, like something like Immortals of Avium, where you get like 20 hours of gameplay for 60 to 70 bucks, and then you're just done, you know? Or do you want 70 bucks for a game like Starfield, where you get to play, you know, to your preference, 35 to 40 hours of main questline stuff and you can be finished, or 35 to 40 hours of main questline stuff plus how much ever other time, 100 to 150 hours of side content, you know, that you want to dive into. I mean, there's a big difference there, man, you know? But there is something also to be said for a game that just feels too big, too long. Like you can never finish it. And there are just a lot of people in the world that are too busy to dive into games like that and get them taken care of. So they just disregard them as a whole. That's why I think it's appropriate for games to give you the option of getting through the main part of the game in an appropriate amount of time, and the option to do side content if you so please, right? Pinball FX's studio is releasing a horror pinball game with Chucky and Dead by Daylight tables. Sick. All right, last page, then we'll dive into these articles. Best low-cost AAA video games, Hi-Fi Rush. Drop the mic. Over. A new Rugrats game announced. Okay. They brought the show back. Counter-Strike 2 release date, news, leaks, and beta details. Take a peek at this. Complete Borderlands collection announced? Really? Took them a while, dude. All right, let's dive into these guys. I'll go ahead and kill the tune since we're done looking for all the articles. Let's get in here and read these, man. Take a peek. PlayStation games discounted on PC. Grab your favorites now. PlayStation has been expanding its reach to PC users by releasing some of its popular first-party games on the platform. Now, PC gamers have the opportunity to experience titles like The Last of Us Part 1 and Returnal without needing a PS5. To sweeten the deal, Green Man Gaming and Fanatical are offering discounts on these PC ports with some of the lowest prices of the year. Green Man Gaming and Fanatical are both great sites, actually. Has some of the best prices, but there's a catch. You need to sign up for the Green Man Gaming Experience membership to take advantage of the discounts. On the other hand, Fanatical offers a 5% off coupon with your purchase of any discounted game, which can be redeemed on your next full-price game. One of the standout deals is God of War, available for just $25.50 instead of $50. Although it's not the latest God of War, Ragnarok still offers the same intense combat and gripping storytelling, making it highly recommended for PC gamers. This is 2018's God of War. I played this on release in 2021 on PC, and it was amazing. So good. And if you like difficult games, try it on Give Me God of War difficulty. It's a very, very good, very intense difficulty setting. But the story behind this game is awesome. I loved, like, just about everything about this game was fantastic for me. It easily became one of my favorite games of all time. And Sony Santa Monica not only killed it with this game originally, obviously, but the port to PC felt phenomenal on release too, which is a rarity nowadays, I think. And I can't wait to play Ragnarok. So when are we going to get that on PC? You know what I mean? Marvel Spider-Man Remastered and Miles Morales are also on sale, with the former priced at $34 and the latter at $28.50. With a highly anticipated Marvel Spider-Man 2 on the horizon, this is a great opportunity to satisfy your web-slinging cravings. Look, let's get Spider-Man 2 released. That is next month also, right? So they can start working on Wolverine, please. Another exciting offer is Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition, which sees a massive price drop to just $14. This edition includes the Frozen Wilds expansion along with other in-game bonuses. If none of these games catch your interest, check out the comprehensive list of the best PlayStation Studios PC deals below. Now is the time to grab your favorite PlayStation games on PC at discounted prices. Take the opportunity to experience these acclaimed titles and immerse yourself in their thrilling worlds. Green Man Gaming and Fanatical are both great. They're Steam keys. You just buy, you get Steam keys. Let's take a quick peek here. Hold on. Let me see something. Give me a break. Stop that. No. No. Okay. Try this too. There we go. Look, I don't care, dude. Oh my flipping this site, dude. If I don't want to do this, can I just not, please? Jesus Christ. Look, I'm just going to give you guys the article. Whatever. It's just being dumb right now. It's whatever. Just know they've got some deals right now on this, on Green Man Gaming and Fanatical. Both of the sites. They're wanting me to like log into the sites with my two-factor authentication stuff. I'm not doing that right now, so that's what I was. I know Green Man Gaming's weird. It's like, oh, is it you? It's like, but it won't just let you go. Oh, I don't want to log in. You know, it's like, and I'm not dealing with it right now. So here, there you go. Take a look. Get some games. Gaming in the Woods, a unique and thrilling experience. Imagine playing a terrifying video game like the remake of Resident Evil 4, surrounded by the darkness of a forest at night. The intriguing concept was brought to life by YouTuber Jason, also known as The Quiet Nerd. In his video titled Overnight Gaming in the Woods, Resident Evil 4 Remake, he shares his adventurous experience with, let's see. There we go. I think that's good. Yeah. All right. Sorry. With his audience, the idea of playing a horror game in the wilderness is undeniably cool, although it may not be for the faint of heart. In the video, Jason showcases the gear and gadgets he uses to enable gaming while camping. It not only provides an immersive glimpse into his unique setup, but also gives viewers an insight into the world of gaming outdoors. What adds to the overall experience is encountering wildlife in the forest. The video captures the moments when creatures approach Jason and observe his unconventional gaming sessions before moving on. This element adds an extra layer of excitement and unpredictability to the already thrilling atmosphere. While this type of gaming may not be for everyone, it offers a fresh and entertaining twist to traditional gaming. Kudos to The Quiet Nerd for his creativity and bravery in bringing this concept to life. For those who enjoy night hiking, keep an eye out for Jason in the Woods or on YouTube. Show your support for liking and subscribe. Jesus, dude, really? Interesting. Okay, I thought they were actually talking about a game here, but it's just a dude going out and flipping gaming out in the woods. That's a weird concept, dude. All right. 10 video games releasing in September 2023 you shouldn't miss. Here we go. So, across all platforms, we'll be busy this September. Mortal Kombat 1, Starfield, obviously already releasing early access. Mortal Kombat 1, September 19th, okay. Starfield, obviously already in early access, but September 6th is also the full release date. Lies of P, yeah. September 19th. I hope this is good. The premise seems cool. EA Sports FC, get wrecked. Who gives a crap, dude? I mean, I know a lot of people do, but Jesus, I hate EA. September 29th for that. NBA 2K24. 2K is also a terrible company, man, with their games like that. September 8th for that. Payday 3, baby. That's what I'm looking for. Why don't they have the date on this? I think it's September 19th. Let me see here. Something like that. September 21st. I was close. September 21st. The Crew Motorfest is September 14th. Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty DLC is going to be on September 26th. Baldur's Gate 3 for PS5 hits on the 6th of September. And Cocoon, they don't have a date on this either, but it's supposed to be this month. There you go. I'll link this for you guys. If you're interested in any of these titles, we know of these. We've seen these a lot. But if you are not familiar, go ahead and take a look. Pinball FX's studio is releasing a horror pinball game with Chucky and Dead by Daylight tables. Pinball M comes with one free table and will get others as DLC. Zen Studios, the developer behind Pinball FX, is releasing a separate M-rated pinball game with horror-themed tables. Pinball M will launch with 5 tables, one of which will be available for free. The free table is an update, unrestricted, director's cut version of the Lovecraft-inspired Wrath of the Elder Gods table that's already available in Pinball FX. It will be accompanied by 4 DLC tables, 2 of which have been confirmed. The first is Chucky's Killer Pinball, which will feature the murdering doll from the Child's Play movies, who will run around the table as you play. Also planned is Dead by Daylight Pinball, a table based on the popular online multiplayer horror game. The other 2 tables will be revealed closer to the launch date of Pinball M, which is not confirmed yet. Zen Studios says further tables will be added to the game throughout next year and will be announced later. Let's see this. I love pinball, dude. Love it. God, the latest Chucky was so bad, dude. In my opinion, anyways. That one's dope, dude. Like this whole Lovecraftian thing. It's very neat. Neat, man. That's fun. Sick. Studio's main current release is Pinball FX, the 4th game in its series of pinball collections. It too is a free download and contains 3 free tables, with the rest available as paid DLC. Players can also subscribe to the Pinball Pass, which lets them access the majority of the tables in the game for a monthly or annual price. There are currently 109 tables in Pinball FX, offering a mixture of recreations of classic tables such as Indiana Jones, Twilight Zone, or Star Trek The Next Generation, and completely original tables. Many of the original tables are based on licensed properties, including Marvel, Star Wars, Jurassic Park, Godzilla, and various properties belonging to DreamWorks and Universal. That's really neat, man. That's cool. New Rugrats game has been announced. Not a sequel to one of the best PS1 games ever made, Rugrats Search for Reptar. Rather, this new game is a puzzle platformer that pays homage to the NES era. Dubbed Rugrats Adventures in Gameland, the game is set to release sometime next year via PC and consoles. What console specifically has not been conveyed. So right now all we can do is speculate about those. So the game is being brought to market by the Mix Games and Wall Ride. A baby fresh take on retro-inspired gameplay featuring a unique cooperative design where kids and parents need to stick together to win. Baby's got to do what a baby's got to do, reads an official description of the game. Okay. See what this is. Bro, this looks super old school. Yeah. Dude, this looks just like some old regular Nintendo stuff, man. It's wild. Oh, wild. Interesting. All right. Puzzle platforming. Multiple levels with unique themes, secrets, and boss encounters. Hop, bop, explore, and swap babies. Cameos of beloved characters from the TV show. High definition version features hand-drawn animations to match cartoon style. Players can toggle between 8-bit and high definition art. 2-player cooperative gameplay. Rugrats, yeah. What's up, Psycho? How you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. Counter-Strike 2 release date news, leaks, and beta details. Counter-Strike 2 will be released in this year. Find out everything about the release. It's still in a limited test phase with only a few community members being able to play it currently, which started on March 22nd. Up until mid-August, there'd been no official information on the possible release date, but is believed to be prior to September 23rd. So within the next 3 weeks, they're thinking this game is actually going to release in full. Waking up, word, brother. It's good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good. Latest leaks and rumors about CS2. At this point in time, we know quite a few things about CS2. It'll be played on the Source 2 engine. Tick rates are a thing of the past. Smokes are now interactive. Yep, and the game looks completely new. Yeah, the newer Source 2 engine, which is the evolution from the original Source engine, which CSGO was originally developed on, allows Valve to improve visuals, run smoother for their the new flagship shooter. Updates for each map are coming with the new engine, obviously. Brighter, more lit up. New details, bigger overhauls. And we'll get new versions of a lot of the old school maps, basically. Yeah. Yeah, so Smoke's like interactive now. If you haven't seen it, it's pretty crazy. So the smoke in the game now is kind of wild. So like you'll throw a smoke, and if you shoot through it, it'll actually dissipate the smoke where the shot goes through for just a brief period of time. It's like physics based smoke. It's pretty wild. Oh, I'm great, brother. Yeah, I'm good, man. We're just doing our final stream before we take off, dude, for the next 3 days. Oh, yeah. So down for the weekend and everything, but I'm good, man. Yeah, just spent last night trying to get prepared, man, for this weekend being off and everything we got going on and stuff, but I'm solid, brother. Yeah, thanks for asking. Bunch of small changes, better audio engineering, clearer bullet impacts. Zeus and grenades are now inspectable. More realistic explosions. Easier to read UI. Seasonal leaderboards. Chicken buffs. Chickens are getting buffed. Literally. Reworked buy menu. Option to sell weapons in buy phase. All of your CSGO skins will be ported straight over to CS2. And that's what we know so far about Counter-Strike 2. All right, guys, if you need more out of there, I'll link it for you. Complete Borderlands collection announced. Third game also coming to Switch. Pandora's Box includes all 6 entries in Gearbox series and their DLC. Interesting. So the Borderlands collection, Pandora's Box, is coming to Xbox One, Series XS, PS4, PS5, and PC via Steam on September 1st. That's today. While Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition for the Switch will follow on October 6th. The former includes all 6 Borderlands games. Borderlands 1, 2, the pre-sequel, Tales from the Borderlands 3, and New Tales from the Borderlands, plus all their DLC in one bundle for the first time. The digital-only collection has a suggested retail price of $150, but 2K says it will be available for a discounted price of $60 for a limited time. Xbox players who already own a digital copy of any of the titles included in the collection will be able to complete the set for $30 via the Microsoft Store. Same thing for PlayStation. You can complete the collection for a $30 upgrade. PC players who have previously bought a digital copy of any game in the collection will only pay for the content they don't already own, with an updated price reflected on the Steam page for Borderlands Collection Pandora's Box. Borderlands 3 Ultimate Edition for Switch costs $60. It is available for pre-order now. It contains the base game, which was released for PC and other consoles in 2019, plus all the game's DLC and bonus cosmetic packs. Let's look at this real quick. So because I own Borderlands 2, it would be $50 for me to get all the rest of this stuff. Now, I actually own Borderlands 1, but I've got it on like PS3. I've got the what did I own the pre-sequel on? I have that on Epic, I think. Borderlands 3. I thought I had that as well. Do I have that on Epic also? I think I have that on Epic also. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't. But I do know I have the other two, so I don't know. But if you're interested, oh, I can't even link this, dude. What? If you're interested, then Borderlands Collection, Pandora's Box, and look, Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, really, really. I mean, those are bangers for me, man. I love those games. The pre-sequel was really kind of lackluster for me. I haven't played Borderlands 3 yet, but I've heard it's good. Probably not as good as 1 and 2, but good. So, I don't know. If you're interested, they've got that all out there for you now. September's free games with Amazon Prime Gaming have been announced. Subscribers will be able to claim new titles every Thursday. What? All right, so yeah, if you're not aware of Prime Gaming, TLDR, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you get access to Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming is normally going to give you free games on Amazon Prime's platform, which is a desktop application or can be accessible through their website. But sometimes you'll also get good old games keys. They'll give away games that are good old games. You can see it right here. See? But September's Prime Gaming lineup, yeah. September 7th, you can get Football Manager 2023 through the Epic Game Store. September 14th, Osmandia's Bronze Age Empire Sim. This is going to be a GOG key. September 14th, Absolute Tactics Daughters of Mercy. This will be through Amazon's own app. September 21st, you can get both Dexter Stardust Adventures in Outer Space and Shotgun King The Final Checkmate through Amazon's app. September 28th, Unsolved Case Murderous Script Collector's Edition, which is a Legacy Games code. And September 28th, also 100 Days Winemaking Simulator through Amazon's app. All right. So I'll link this for you guys if you need it. Yeah. Mine said like 550 marked down to 50 or something. I don't know, dude. Yeah. I think that's just because, I don't know. Because I already owned one of the games and some of the DLC or whatever. It was weird. Kind of insane. Yeah. Kind of insane, bro. Yeah. Especially because I think Epic, what games do I have? So let's talk about this real quick too. Cave Story Plus is the free game right now. This just changed over yesterday. This is the free game on Epic for the next week. Until September 7th, And then on September 7th, Spell Drifter will be the new title. I don't even know what Spell Drifter is, dude. Anybody know what Spell Drifter is? What is Spell Drifter? Let's look at this real quick. It's not even on here. Okay, let's go look at the Epic Store. Spell Drifter, what are you? I was hoping to look at it on Steam.
The old times speak of an unchanging world.
Look at it like this.
Man. The spirits.
So this is next week's game. It's not free yet, but Spell Drifter, I don't know what this game is.
Each in its own domain, taking its place in the way of things. So it was for 1,000 lifetimes of men.
Spell Drifter.
In a day. Chains fell from the sky. A blazing comet from the farthest heavens. From across Hylia, people looked skyward in awe to see it crashing to the earth. Where it landed, it punched a hole through more than just rock. It tore at reality itself. The barriers between the heavenly realms were forever broken. From the smoking crater drifted a new kind of energy that the world of men had never seen. A power called magic.
Love not getting to see any gameplay on the only video they have for the game.
In its place came a world of wonder and possibility. Word spread of this new power. From far-off realms, people traveled to the crater to stake their own claim in this newborn world. A city took root. They called it Starfall.
No, it's just me.
It is here that my rebirth truly begins.
You mean in the video? What's up, True? No, it's not James Earl Jones. It's Darth Vader. Interesting. So it's got a card game mechanic behind it. It looks kind of dope. Check it out. So a hybrid tactical role-playing game and deck-building game that features the best of both, best parts of both. Spelldrifter combines the puzzle-like positional tactics of turn-based RPG battle with deep customizability and replayability of a collectible card game. Hybrid wherein players juggle the resources at their disposal using both time and space. That looks pretty cool. Depends on how the gameplay rolls. Let's look at this on Metacritic, dude. Okay. Seems good. Bro, did I not put this in correctly before? What? Is it actually on Steam and I'm just dumb? It is, dude. It is on Steam. What the crap? It's got 11 reviews at 72% positive. So, if you want to look at it on Steam, but this is going to be free next week, so I would probably, I mean, you do you, but, you know, it will be free on Epic next week, so you don't need to buy this, but if you want to look at more of it on Steam, then there it is. How did I must have misspelled it before. What a dingle. But those are your free games. Well, Cave Story Plus is the free one this week. Spell Drifter next week, all right? Yeah. All right, here we go. The Lenovo Legion Go handheld gaming PC has been officially revealed. Officially. We've seen bits and pieces of this so far. It's definitely got a lot of You can see it resembles the Switch greatly because of the detachable controllers. But, yo, check this out, Nintendo. These controllers are actually shaped with contours that fit your hands. Oh my God. Blow your flipping mind. You know what I mean, Nintendo? Idiots. Lenovo has officially unveiled the Lenovo Legion Go handheld gaming device at trade show IFA 2023, following a series of major leaks that beat the tech company to the punch. Regardless of these leaks spoiling the grand reveal, there is much to pour over in Lenovo's official breakdown, with new details, a release date, and price points revealed. Cool, man. Oh, yikers, dude. God, look at the price difference, dude. It's like double in Australia and New Zealand. God, New Zealand. Jesus. Okay, so as confirmed by Lenovo, the upcoming Legion Go handheld console is set to launch in late October of 2023. In Australia, it will retail for $1,400. And in New Zealand, it'll go for $1,800. The Lenovo Legion Go will cost US $700, with prices in other regions yet to be confirmed. So dimensions and weight, almost 300 millimeters by 130 millimeters by 40 millimeters and 854 grams with controllers attached. It's got an 8.8 inch 2560 by 1600 screen, 16 by 10, 10-point touch, 144 hertz, and 97% DCI-P3, 500 nit screen. It's up to an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme with AMD RDNA graphics. 16 gigabytes of DDR5 onboard memory. You can get a 256, 512, or 1 terabyte storage space, M.2 drive. Operating system is Windows 11. It's got a 2-cell 49.2 WHR Super RAID charge battery. Power adapter, USB Type-C, 65-watt AC adapter. It's got a 3.5 millimeter audio combo jack, 2 USB Type-C, top and bottom, 1 micro SD card reader. As with other handheld gaming devices, the Lenovo Legion Go will allow you to play your entire library of PC games on the go with Windows 11 support, essentially making this device a handy, pocket-sized PC. Unlike its nearest rivals, it includes Nintendo Switch-like detachable controllers and a full-length prop stand, as well as top and bottom USB-C ports for easy plug and charging. Lenovo has detailed in a press release that it has attempted to avoid issues with controller drift by implementing detachable Hall effect controllers with no joystick drift and minimal dead zones that maximize responsiveness and accuracy. There's hope this means an easier time with device maintenance and care. Look, this is one of the things I was talking about. If this device wants to stack up against the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG Ally, it needs to be it's critical that it compares on the same level as those other devices with quality of life for the consumer, meaning build quality first, then also ease of repair on for the consumer, right? As well as like replacement parts, whether it be joysticks or buttons or anything like that. If something breaks, so that if the consumer wants to repair it themselves, not only should they not void the warranty by them just taking the case off to replace like a button or a joystick or something, but the replacement parts should be very cheap, right? These are all things that these other handheld consoles do very, very well. And this console needs to do the same thing. The entire portable experience will be supported by Legion Space, which helps you sort and organize your games across multiple storefronts, including Steam, Epic Game Store, and Xbox Game Pass. Notably, the device will come packaged with 3 months of complimentary membership for Game Pass. Alongside the reveal of the Lenovo Legion Go, Lenovo also announced an array of other accessories during IFA 2023, including Gaming earbuds, laptop, monitor, glasses, here's a big thing to note. Price point. This device is just over the top tier of what you would pay for a Steam Deck. Now, what we don't know yet is so it looks like there's going to be some different models. There's going to be some different models out of this because there's different storage, and it also says up to an AMD Ryzen 1 Extreme, Z1 Extreme. So that means there's probably different models with different processors and different models with different storage capacities in it, right? Now, all they're telling us right now is a $700 price point. What I would say is they're probably telling you the low side of that price point, though. So you'll probably see a $700, $800, and $900 price point out of this with 3 different models, more than likely. I don't know for a fact, but that's just kind of what I'm gathering out of these different price points and like hardware statistics. So we'll get more as we move forward. We'll keep paying attention, and we'll stack this up against the other PC handheld consoles in the market as we get more information, okay? Is this more like the ROG? You mean more like the ROG than the Steam Deck? Is that what you're getting at? Yeah. So in what aspect exactly? I mean, yeah, I would say all the way around. Yeah, probably so. Probably more like the ROG than the Steam Deck. The reasoning being it's new. The Steam Deck is what, 2 to 3 years old now. The hardware in it is a little bit more dated, right? Not true. Not true. Not true. Not true. No. So, no. Here. So you can, there's a lot of guides, okay? Oh yeah, Steam Deck can do a lot more. Here's one of the great things about the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is built on a Linux system, which makes the flexibility of what you're able to get done with that system very, very good. As opposed to something like the ROG Ally, which I'm pretty sure the ROG Ally, and also the Lenovo Legion Go, which is built solely on a Windows operating system, right? Kind of. It allows you to go in. Steam did this on purpose. The thing that's great about the Steam Deck is that Valve is very, 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 and they always have been, they're very consumer, very user-friendly. They built this thing knowing people would want to do other things with it. So there are all kinds of guides out there. And I'm not talking about just adding non-Steam games into your Steam platform on this device. There are all kinds of guides out there to like how to play Game Pass on Steam Deck. Like you can get all this done. It's not necessarily a matter of jailbreaking it. It's not like you need to bypass things. You just need to know how to get it done, right? It's not a matter of them having like it's not like an Apple device. It's not like an Apple operating system where you've got to like hack it and jailbreak it. It's not the same thing, right? No. So this is actually a very user-friendly device. It's built on a Linux operating system, which makes it, if you know what you're doing, it's very, very easy to get all kinds of different platforms onto the Steam Deck to play. Epic, obviously it's made for Steam, right? So that's a given. but Epic, Game Pass, all that stuff can be done on the Steam Deck. You just need to know how to get it done. And there are guides all over the place. Just look online. There are guides all over the place on how to incorporate that stuff into the Steam Deck, right? Now, obviously, it's a little bit different because a lot of people aren't all, most people aren't as knowledgeable or educated on how to use an operating system like Linux as they are with something like Windows, right? So Windows is going to be a little bit easier for a lot of people on something like the ROG Ally or the Lenovo Legion Go, because all you do is get the app, right? Or you just install the like Epic Game Store or whatever, right? Or you install Steam, or you know what I mean? So it's easier on that front, but you can absolutely get it done. And it's not a matter of like jailbreaking. It's a different operating system. So it's absolutely something you can get done. And it's not very hard. You just need to know what you're doing. And there are guides out there all over the internet for how to get it done. Yeah. Yeah. So, but what I will touch on, True, and what you were asking is, this is definitely going to be something more closely aligned hardware-wise with something like the ROG Ally. It just because it's newer. You know what I mean? It's kind of hitting a price point between the two. I think that the battery is probably going to be bigger. What's the ROG Ally's battery? Hold on, let's compare these. It's a 40 watt. This is a 49. Steam Deck's is a what? We knew this was probably going to be a bigger battery. 5313 mAh. Let's see. It's also a 40. It's also a 40. So yeah, the at least that's what it's looking like anyways. That's not from their official websites or anything. But this is looking like this is about a I don't know, roughly 20% bigger battery in this. Yeah, true for sure. Yeah. So something to that effect, which we knew it was going to be a chunkier device. We knew it was heavier. We knew it was going to be a little bit thicker. But look, we don't discriminate around here. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, we kind of like chonky around here. You know what I mean? So now here's the thing, and I've been saying this even before the Steam Deck came out. I was wondering why other devices weren't emulating the Switch in a particular aspect, which is removable controllers. I find the removable controller thing to be amazing. And I've wondered ever since why no other companies were doing it. And it could be a patent thing. But here's the thing with patents. Just because another company has done something doesn't mean, I mean, there's always loopholes. And if you want to use the same patent, yeah, you got to pay out your, wazoo or whatever. I think that's the way it works. You basically have to pay them a ton of money to use the same patent if they agree. Now, on the other side of things, if you can engineer your own proprietary system for getting that done, and you can prove that it has nothing to do with the technology another company used, then you're in the clear, right? And I mean, the Switch has just seemed so good in that aspect of having the detachable controller. It's such a cool thing that I've wondered why no other devices have been doing it. And now here we are with the Lenovo Legion Go actually incorporating it. So I think that's great. I think it's really neat. And I hope they did it as well as Nintendo has done. But yes, I think that this is going to be something closer to the ROG Ally in stats than you'll find with hardware stats than you'll find with the Steam Deck, right? But we're supposed to have another Steam Deck coming to us. They've been working on prototypes, things like that. So we'll see what happens. We still don't know a ton about this device yet. So we know that both the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally are amazing devices. They're great performance-wise. They're great build quality-wise. They're from reputable companies. They are good from a consumer standpoint as far as quality of life for repairs or things of that nature. They're both very good devices. Those are things that we really have yet to find out about this device. Right now, it's stacking up to look pretty good, right? Well, yeah, Nintendo might hold that patent and not let it go, right? But that's what I'm saying is like a lot of times with patents, there are loopholes to it. And if they have a patent for like, it can be as something as asinine as like the description of what it is, and as long as you're developing and engineering the software and the design behind it all in-house, and you can come up with a description that doesn't match entirely the patent that was put in by another company that kind of invented this in the first place, which would be Nintendo, really, let's be honest, then you can kind of loophole your way through it, right? So I don't know. Did Lenovo pay Nintendo to use their technology to do the detachable controllers? I doubt it, because it probably would have cost them out the butt. They probably developed this themselves, and they probably have their own patent for it, which sets it apart from any technology that Nintendo developed on their own side. That would be my guess. You know what I mean? Just because you allow somebody else to use that technology doesn't mean that you're letting that patent go. It means that you're allowing one company to buy into your technology. It doesn't mean you're allowing anybody else to have it either, right? I'm not real educated on that side of like business and how patents work and stuff like that. But dude, there are always loopholes for businesses to find. That's why big businesses like this have on staff lawyers and stuff to help them navigate these kinds of situations. You know what I mean? That are really, really versed in how those kinds of laws work and where they can find those kinds of loopholes and how they can get away. You know what I mean? Like, this is not my area of expertise. I'm just kind of like throwing darts, if you will, right? It could be all kinds of different things, but I'm just kind of spitballing here. But I doubt they paid Nintendo for that technology. I doubt it. I'm guessing they found a way to design and engineer their own technology in this, which is obviously emulating what Nintendo has done, but came up with it in a way that they were able to show that like, oh, it's not the same thing. It's totally different, even though it looks and the way it functions is entirely the same, right? That's the way businesses work, man. Yeah, it's wild. So I don't know. Yeah, I think this is going to be something much closer to the ROG, but we'll just have to wait and see. We've got more that we need to find out. Once independent sites start getting their hands on this device, we'll start getting more of an idea about where it's stacking up against both the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally. Right now, I think that really this is going to be like hitting middle of the road, I think, is what it's going to do. It's going to be closer to a ROG Ally than it will the Steam Deck, but it'll be like middle of the road between the two as far as price point is. But right now, the Steam Deck is more like your budget friendly, but still a really good device for mobile PC gaming. Whereas your ROG Ally is like your, if you're not real limited by a budget and you want top tier performance, I don't think you can go wrong with either one. It just depends on what kind of budget you're working with. And I think this is going to be hitting that midpoint between those two. But I do think that this is going to be the low point. I think $700 is going to be the low point, and they're going to have different models. And you're probably going to see like a $700, $800, and $900 price point, with the low tier model hitting the high side of where you would pay for the top tier model of the Steam Deck, and then the top tier model of the Legion Go being the same price range of what you would pay for the low tier model of the ROG Ally, which is going to be kind of wild. But that's just kind of my assumption right now. We'll see what happens. I'll link it for you guys if you want to see more about it. It's looking really neat, though. It's looking really cool. I'll give them that. Here you go, guys. Volition Studios is done. Saints Row developer Volition Games has been shut down. Volition Games, the studio behind franchises such as Saints Row and Red Faction, has been shut down effective immediately. The news first broke on X.com, with several employees posting they had been let go, that the studio was no more. In an official statement on the studio's website, Volition states that Swedish holdings company Embracer, which acquired the studio in 2018, has forced it to cease operations as part of Embracer's company-wide restructuring. Volition's full farewell post reads as follows. The Volition team has proudly created world-class entertainment for fans around the globe for 30 years. We've been driven by a passion for our community and always worked to deliver joy, surprise, and delight. This past June, Embracer Group announced a restructuring program to strengthen Embracer and maintain its position as a leader in the video game industry. As part of that program, they evaluated strategic and operational goals and made the difficult decision, to close Volition effective immediately. To help our team, we're working to provide job assistance and help smooth the transition for our Volition family members. We thank our customers and fans around the world for all the love and support over the years. You will always be in our hearts, Volition Games. This past June, Embracer Group announced a restructuring program to strengthen Embracer and maintain its position as a leader in the video games industry. As part of that program, they evaluated strategic and operational goals and made the difficult decision to close Volition effective immediately. Embracer's restructuring is a result of the disastrous collapse of a proposed $2 billion partnership with Savvy Games Group, a Saudi Arabian-funded organization who backed out of the deal in May. This is actually backed by the Saudi Arabian regime. The Crown Prince's regime that's who this is. That's what Savvy Games Group is. This caused Embracer's share value to plummet, forcing the mega corporation into cost-cutting mode after it spent years acquiring a multitude of game studios and entertainment IPs, such as The Lord of the Rings. Embracer CEO Lars Wingfors announced in an open letter plans to make the company a leaner, stronger, and more focused, self-sufficient company, which included plans to close or sell off some of its game studios, along with halting projects in development and other cost-saving measures. Unfortunately, Volition has become one of the first casualties of this restructuring. Volition's demise comes after the company celebrated its 30th anniversary as a studio in June, beginning with the Descent series. Descent, great game. Released under Volition's original name, Parallax Software, and releasing cult favorites such as Summoner. It found major success with the Red Faction franchise during the 2000s, peaking with a well-received Red Faction Guerrilla in 2009. Volition would kick off the Xbox 360 generation with the release of Saints Row, a GTA-inspired series that would steadily gain popularity and a unique identity before reaching its zenith with the critically acclaimed Saints Row the Third in 2011. However, following the release of Saints Row 4 in 2013, the studio entered a rough patch, took a swing with a new IP, and the tepidly received Agents of Mayhem in 2017, which garnered disappointing sales. Its final game, 2022 Saints Row Reboot, also received a mixed reaction from fans and underperformed in sales to the point that Embracer transferred the studio to Gearbox. With the studio's closure It's unclear what will become of Saints Row, Red Faction, and the other franchises under its umbrella. While the last few years weren't kind to Volition, there's no denying the positive impacts its games and series had on the industry. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, they made bangers back in the day. They absolutely did. And there are a lot of longtime fans of the Saints Row franchise, too, that are going to be really, really upset now. I mean, they were already upset by the reboot, let's be fair. A lot of traditional Saints Row fans were not happy with the reboot. It wasn't a very good game all the way around. I didn't play it, but I didn't really need to understand about, what the game was. It didn't look good to me in the first place. That's why I stayed away from it, and rightfully so. I mean, it it came out and didn't do very well. It had performance issues. It was also, it just seemed like kind of a mess of trying to mash up a bunch of different stuff together, and they didn't really implement, I think, what they needed to do to bring Saints Row to a new generation very well, to be fair. I don't know, man. It does feel bad. I think this is the thing that you're always going to risk, though, whenever you um, the gaming industry, it can be really fickle. And when you're up, you're up. And when you're down, man, you're down. And it can seem like you're never going to be able to dig yourself back out of it. It's a really tough situation. Um, I think this is the problem that a lot of studios have found themselves in the past after uh, deciding to be acquired. You've got a lot of big studios out there. Whether you want to talk about, or a lot of big companies, we can talk about EA. You can talk about Microsoft, and you know, I mean, the list goes on and on. There are a lot of Embracer, and their umbrellas are huge, and that's what they do. They acquire, right? They acquire, they acquire, they acquire, they acquire, and they just get fatter and fatter and fatter. And I think as a studio that gets acquired, what you have to understand is that um, if you continue to do good stuff, you shouldn't probably have an issue. But dude, if you start to falter, you're going to be looked at as a liability that is causing the overall company to hemorrhage. And how do you stop that hemorrhage? Mop them out, dude. And that's kind of what's happened here, right? It seems like. So cutting costs, dude, cutting the losses, and saying thanks, appreciate it, see you later. So I don't know. It's the industry's wild like that. Whereas, I mean, if you there's pros and cons to it, right? I mean, you get bought up by a company, obviously you've got a lot of support, overhead support in what you need to do moving forward, but you're also running a risk. It's not just you anymore. Whereas there's always going to be a lot of oversight, probably a lot of micromanaging. You're going to have a lot of the parent companies digits and everything you do, and you can't necessarily have creative freedom anymore over what you used to do, which quite often used to be good stuff, right? And if things turn south, you're no longer at the helm of whether or not your company's going to continue to fight to stay alive. It's not up to you anymore. This is one of the struggles that I think a lot of these companies have to deal with whenever they're taking a look at whether or not they decide to give in to the juggernauts that come looking to swoop them up and pay them a bunch of money initially to be under their umbrella moving forward. Doesn't always pan out to be the best decision in the long run, I don't think. So rip to Volition, dude. Rip to Volition. They made a lot of good games for a long time, but if you can't continue to do what you need to do in the industry, this is, I think, what happens, man. And look, Embracer, Embracer is not a company that seems like they give a whole lot of cares. You know what I mean? Let's be fair about that one. Starfield, guys. Starfield is looking pretty solid, man. We'll take a quick peek at some of these reviews. We'll keep looking at this as we move forward. I mean, obviously, we won't be looking at it over the next 3 days because I won't be live. But once I get back, will be like big full release date for the game, and we'll start getting to see user reviews and stuff. So we'll definitely be taking a deep dive into a more substantial data set for baseline review of what people are thinking about this game. But early is looking just about where I suspected this game would be, mid 80s to high 80s. And that's good, man. It's a good sign. Yeah. So I'm not going to look at any 100s. I don't do that. But a 95 here from Forbes. Really love the game. Bethesda doesn't match some of its peers in many places. But in part, that's because it's trying to do everything all at once. If you wanted a giant Bethesda RPG set in space with better combat and a whole lot of time to level and build things and explore and find secrets, yeah, this is it. They did it. Enjoy. That doesn't seem like a review that you should be given a 95 one. I don't know. Video Gamer. Starfield is the enchantment and wonder of space bottled and fleshed out into something grand and ambitious. Thoughtful and attentive, janky at times, often funny, but always charming. Janky at times is actually the definition of Bethesda game. You know what I mean? 86. We have loved Starfield at times. There have been parts of our game in which we have had goosebumps, in which we have been totally immersed in its universe, its history, and everything there is to discover, while at other times the enemy AI or those mistakes from the past have frustrated us and have spoiled the whole of our experience. What we can guarantee you is that it is a game that lovers of space operas and science fiction are going to love, and that is it is going to give a lot to talk about in the coming weeks as the many secrets that exist are discovered in this universe. Cool. We'll keep looking at it. Let's look at this 70 real quick. Perhaps Bethesda will manage to make the Starfield experience better in the future, though various updates and through various updates and expansions. All in all, it seems like Starfield would have done much better as a universe with a sea of depth and seamlessness spread over 10 planets rather than what we got spread over 1,000. Tim, man, is this what you read, dude? Yeah, it does seem like some people are thinking like it feels a bit too bleak, a bit too barren. Because, I mean, we knew, I was actually prepared for the fact that there were going to be people that felt like that. That they wanted this game to feel a bit realistic, though, I think is what they went for here. And realistically, that is what we have come to know about most systems, solar systems and planets and galaxies and stuff. Not that we've been able to go physically explore them and everything, but through technology and things. And I think that's what Bethesda was going for here was, you know, they've said that only about 10% of planets are actually going to be inhabited by life. That doesn't mean that you won't go to some planets and find like maybe a space station there or something. But as far as actual life on the planet or anything like that, only about 10% of planets from what I understand, which means a game with 1,000 planets, 100 of those planets will have life. 900 of them will not. So you have to be prepared for the fact that more often than not, you're going to hit planets that are going to feel pretty bleak, pretty barren. But they wanted this to feel more like a realistic kind of experience for what we know and, you know, the reality of what space gives us, you know. Yeah, I saw that, Psyduck. I saw that, Psycho Psyduck, dude. I just mixed your name up with your Psyduck. I'm gonna start calling you Psycho Duck. Yeah, that's sick, dude. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And now we can be friends. So, I don't know. I think other people, different. Everybody's gonna have a different kind of opinion about how this feels. and I wouldn't really know how to talk about it until I experienced it myself, for sure. Um, it just depends on. I mean, just because a planet doesn't have life itself doesn't mean there won't be things to find on that planet, I don't think, but I don't know exactly what the breadth of that is really going to entail until I got my own hands on this, and or maybe read a little bit more about what exactly other people are experiencing, So we'll find out more as we keep moving forward. But this is, I think, just a part of what Bethesda wanted this game to feel like. And I think people have to understand that, you know. So this is a very, very, very respectable score. It really is. An 88 Metascore of 50 critic reviews already. And that's PC. Series X is at an 87. These are very comparable. They're right on par with each other. That's really, really good. It is. It's really good. It's not the same magnitude of what we're seeing with like Baldur's Gate 3 or Tears of the Kingdom. And that's exactly what I expected. I did not expect this game to live up to either one of those games that I just mentioned. I just didn't. Now, that's not to take away from overall, these scores are nothing to scoff at. But the grand scheme of things, Starfield, it probably is not going to match up with something like Baldur's Gate 3 or Tears of the Kingdom when it comes to running for like Game of the Year or anything like that. You know what I mean? But this is not this is nothing to scoff at. This game is going to be very, very good, probably for most people that play it, right? We'll keep paying attention as we move through the news and stuff. This is really the last article I have, so I'll finish this up and then we'll go play some Fallout New Vegas for the rest of the day. It'll be a shorter day. Again, I've only got until about noon today, roughly, give or take, before I'll have to call it, and I'm gonna start my holiday, man. So I'll be gone Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and we'll be back on Tuesday. But that's kind of what I got for today. We'll play a little bit more Fallout New Vegas, probably. And unless I'm feeling frisky and want to do something else, I don't know. And we'll be done for the weekend, man. But it'll be good. We'll have a good day. But this is the last I got. If anybody has anything to add, let me know and we'll address it before we move on. Okay. Microsoft's hotly awaited Starfield comes game scores with critics. Yeah. So as we just saw. So Microsoft shot for the sky with Starfield. It's ambitious new space role-playing video game, and so far it looks like a decent bet. The highly anticipated title, which has over 130 hours of content. Now, again, you can finish the main storyline of this game in roughly probably 35 to 40 hours, but it's got a plethora of other stuff that you can engage in this game to really, really get a nice long playthrough in it. Good immersion, side content, things to search out, secrets, things like that, right? Arrives after 7 years in development, not 7 days, 7 years in development. It's available to advanced purchasers on Friday. Yeah, everyone else starting September 6th. Starfield scored an 87 out of 100 on Metacritic so far. The review aggregation site. Starfield, like Redfall, is a product of Bethesda. Now, the difference being, Redfall was not developed by Bethesda. Redfall was developed by is it Arcane? Arcane. Yep. Just wanted to make sure I was pretty positive there, but I wanted to make sure. Redfall was developed by Arcane, who is a subsidiary of Bethesda, and they published it. So Bethesda published the game, but it was not developed by Bethesda. So be very clear here. Starfield, on the other hand, is a game that was both developed and published by Bethesda. Okay. And is being sold exclusively for Microsoft's Xbox consoles and PCs. The game offers over 1,000 stars and plans to explore. Players choose their characters like a bouncer or bounty hunter, and then jet into space to operate a ship, hire a crew, mine materials, and gun down bad guys. In enormous cities like New Atlantis, players explore a post-Earth future where locals dish out quests like gathering scientific samples. Old Todd Howard described the game as Skyrim in space, referring to Bethesda's 2011 fantasy role-playing title, The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, which has sold over 60 million copies. Although Starfield's setting is futuristic, its gameplay is decidedly traditional, and some reviewers found it slow. Quote, this game doesn't really even get going until you finish the main quest, Bethesda Vice President Pete Hines said in an online discussion at the Gamescom conference this month. He estimated it could take as many as 50 hours to reach that benchmark. Yeah. Yeah, right now it's looking good. Again, they talked about what I talked about too. It's not really hitting the same kind of overall reviews that something like Baldur's Gate 3 got, but it's still looking very, very good, to be fair. And that's good, man. I'm glad. It's good to see Bethesda kind of coming back with something solid, you know? It really is. That's the jam, guys. That's the jam. For today, September 1st, that's our news segment. We're going to move on. We're going to go play some video games, man, for the rest of the day. Again, don't forget, we're going to be down for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So the next 3 days, there will be no live content until I get back on Tuesday, okay? And then, unfortunately, Wednesday will probably be a down day, too, because I've got multiple appointments that day. So it's just a bit of an end-of-summer kind of shenanigans here. So I've got multiple appointments coming up that have to be taken care of on Wednesday. Wednesdays are normal days off anyways, so I'm going to get back on schedule with normal Wednesdays off once I get back. So unfortunately, it's going to be a Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, be back on Tuesday, Wednesday off, and then back to normal schedule, okay? So that's the deal. But thanks to everybody that was part of the news segment today. Appreciate you guys very much. As always, we're going to move on, play some Fallout New Vegas. And if anybody's getting to check out the news segment from this morning live, or maybe later on as a VOD, we've got all of our previous video gaming news segments, all of our playthroughs that we've done for video games, which were always take place after we finish video gaming news every morning, as well as funny, wild clips and highlights and stuff like that happen in the channel. That stuff is always on our Twitch channel in playlists as highlights, as well as on the YouTube channel in playlists as well. And go check out some of that content. If you're enjoying it, then come hang out with us. We go live at 6 a.m. CST CDT every single day. Always kick it off with video gaming news, trying to stay current on what's going on in the industry, flesh out a lot of these ideas as a community, and then we move on to playing whatever game we have planned for the rest of the day, okay? So other than that, you guys, happy Friday. Happy 1st of September, all right? Thanks for the pets. Stay healthy, stay safe, be kind. And I will catch everybody whenever I get back on Tuesday for, man, what is that? Like September 5th's edition of Video Gaming News, all right?